Greetings all. This is the end of another long and arduous year, and I've decided at the end of this year I'll cap it off with a bang with a nice little interesting video about the top 10 birds I thought were the best birds in the UK in 2021. This is a thing that lots of people do, generally on Twitter rather than on video form. This idea came to me a little bit earlier in the year when I was sitting in my flat with my my flatmate Elliott, pictured here. And we decided that our list was going to be a little bit different. Our list was going to say something, and not all of these lists say something, they're just like, cool bird. So, let's dive right in, shall we? Roll the intro first, probably, yeah. A little bit of watch mojo action, go on. We begin at number 10. Everyone's favourite, the river warbler. Now, this was found in Somerset in July 2021, and it was quite a find for the people that found it, to be honest. But there's a reason it's at 10, and I'm going to be honest with you, that reason is it's just very loud and annoying. It does look cool, and it put on quite a show for lots of people, so that's why it makes the list. But yeah, there's a reason why it's at number 10, not anywhere higher. Let's move on to number 9 now. Now, number 9 is a little bit of an interesting one. It's one of the ones that made national news, which is why it's on the list. If anything makes national news, it's instantly like, whoa, incredible stuff, incredible scenes. I love that bird. Found on the Isle of Lundy. It caused a great many birders to get a boat across within the day to see it. And it's a lucky thing they did because it was only there for that one day. Lots of money was spent on failed boat hires. It was just a crack all around. This one for the year was a really intriguing one, really exciting one. So yeah, that's why it made the list in the number 9 spot. Interesting enough, those are the only 2 warblers on this list. So the green warbler, sorry. And now here we go. This is very much a ceremonial placement, as Northern Harrier is not quite the bee's knees of birding, shall we say. It's just a little bit like a hen harrier, isn't it? A little bit similar. This is here because me and Elliott, believe the people that found this bird, that it is a Northern Harrier, and we disagree fundamentally with all the people that were claiming it wasn't one. And we think it's a little bit ridiculous that even after they made an entire thread about why it should be considered a Northern Harrier, people were still arguing to the opposite. So yeah, this is here as a ceremonial placement, and we stand with the finders of the Northern Harrier. Number 7. White-tailed lapwing. This is here simply because, look at it. It looks good. The white, the yellow, something like a teal in the background. It's just an all-round great bird. Yeah, so yeah, that's 7, the white-tailed lapwing. Now here we go, number 6, we have the first intriguing placement. This is of course the stick on Tresca. No? I jest. The Egyptian vulture on silly, and then it was later in Ireland, but we don't include Ireland on this list. No. The reason this is here, to be perfectly frank, it made national news. I have already said things make national news, they get stuck on here, so that's just what happens. Also, I mean, it's a vulture. We don't have those in the UK. That's very cool. Yeah, that's why it makes the list. It's a vulture. It made national news. It's pretty cool, and I love silly as well. Ooh, you have to have a silly bird on here. I love silly so much. Let's move on to number 5 now. Yes, number 5, the great tit. Now this great tit has got a lot of people in the UK very excited this year. They've been heading up to Lancashire to have a little peek at this very intriguing little bird. Now most people think great tits are very common in the UK. That's wrong. Great tits are actually incredibly rare. This one was all the way from America, and it's been around for quite a while now, and it's causing a lot of people to get very muddy boots. It's also led to some very funny pictures of scopes being left by the side of the river. But yeah, quite an interesting one, and if I'm being honest, I love this great tit. This great tit's got to be up there for bird of the year for me, which is why it's in number 5. I'm a big fan. Number 4. Now, a lot of you are going to disagree with this one. I know one person in particular is going to be very angry at me for this. He's going to be fuming. But you've got to give it a thought. You've got to pay a thought to the finder, Bob Flood, brother. And you've also got to pay a thought to the experience that this common rock thrush brought you. And for a little reminder of that experience, we're going to cut to Humphrey in the past. So have a little look about what he found on his journey for this common rock thrush. Welcome back to the birding vlog, everybody. Here we are, we're at the airport, Elliott. Where are we, Elliott?
I'm here. Scilly's Airport. Well, Scilly's Airport. Mainland Airport.
Land's End Airport. Here we are, Land's End Airport with
Mainland
the
Airport.
mainland.
Is it mainland?
It's over there.
I mean,
The air traffic control building. We are going to look for a bird which has not been seen today.
I'm gonna re-find it.
Welcome to the Scilly's.
Like
Carla's got some sun cream. This is going to be fun. We will catch up with you in the airport.
Yeah, I think it would come as fun.
Oh, Elliott, we're checked in. 7C. Nice. We're checked in. Matt's scope is there. Matt's been replaced by his scope. That's all we need. Look at this. Ooh, the sky bus. It's the plane we're going to be getting on. It's very small, very exciting. You can see over there. There's the plane as well, sky bus. How exciting. And as we boarded the sky bus, there was a feeling of hope and of expectation. You can see it in Matt's little jig there. You can see it in the way Carla looks at the camera. Eyes hopeful. Elliott was probably saying something hopeful as well. You see the spinning blade of the propeller of the sky bus there, and we see here the plane takes off, leaving Land's End Airport on a fast track to St Mary's Airport on the Isles of Scilly. It's not a very long journey, but it is a very picturesque one. You can see the sea here. It really adds to the experience, and I definitely recommend it to anyone going into that part of the world to see that it was a little cloud there in the distance. It was truly a magical journey. But yeah, we're on the hunt for a rock thrush, the common rock thrush, which is why it's placed here in the video. Oh, look, the sea looks normal now. Those rocks are quite close. Oh, hang on. Yeah, those rocks are quite close. But would the rock thrush be present? I think it's time to ask our good friend Matt again to see if it's about.
Some fox of house martin and swallow raving it off. No rock fishers yet.
Well, that is disappointing news. But in order to get over it, we're going to go and have a look at the hirundines that were aforementioned by him there. See them here. Well, you might be able to see them. Unfortunately, upon getting to where the rock thrush was meant to be, there was nothing to be seen. Despite people there trying to use their optics to find something, there was nothing. We head back to Humphrey. See nothing. Seen a rock over there, but that's about it. We're going to Holyvale now. Hopefully there's going to be a bit of a cuckoo. No rock thrush, no nightingale. Oh, enjoy your trip, Matt. No. There was another thing we missed. Oh, a golden oriole. Did see a shellduck and a gadwall though. So, can't complain.
Half inch.
Where?
4 minutes ago.
Where?
Halfway along Pine Belt, start of Tremelathon Trail, although elusive in Canopy.
Wow, like live recording of news coming in there. Do sort of want to see this cuckoo though. There would be no cuckoo for me in the Holy Vale. Instead, we went off looking for 3 hawfinches, which Matt and Carla saw, I believe, but I did not. They had very poor views of it. Anyway, yeah, pretty much that day just went by, and everyone began to lose their minds, as we'll see in this next clip, and the final clip of this vlog, the journey of the rock thrush. I love into your arms.
Came upon your family. Shit cow. You failed us. We trusted you.
Oh.
Do you think he understands that I'm like talking to him?
Yeah, he does.
Or do you think he's just like, that's a weird person? Like, can you comprehend that I'm focusing everything on him? So basically, this trip has turned all of my friends insane.
Well, even though they may have gone insane, everyone did seem to have a good time. As you can see, Matt is smiling there. And it is really about that experience that you have finding a bird, rather than the bird itself, which is why the rock thrush is placed so highly on this list. And that vlog always reminds me of Lord of the Flies, to be honest. It's just me going absolutely insane over the course of the day. But it is an experience, and that's fundamentally the thing that makes this bird different from all the rest. Or does it? Let's move on to number 3, which is a bird that was terribly unfortunately delayed in terms of its arrival by about maybe like an hour or 2 by some horrible gusts. Yeah, it just kept it away for just too long. But when this bird did eventually arrive, it put on quite a show. Tons of young birders saw it, and it was a Cornish bird as well. And since I spent most of my year in Cornwall, it was definitely something that I would have enjoyed if I'd have been there, but I wasn't. But and the people that I know saw it, they enjoyed the hell out of it. It's also probably going to be split from the rest of its species. They discovered earlier this week. So yeah, give that a little look. It's very interesting though, very interesting. Let's move on to number 2. The Northern Mockingbird. Now, this is another one which, in fact, it's the only one on this list. Now, this is the only one on this list that I have actually seen. Hold my hand up. Be honest, I've only seen this one. Am I happy I saw it? Yeah, I am. There's a reason why it's at number 2. It was very cool. And this is another one of which we're going to have to harken back to an old Humphrey and learn about his experience going to find it. The experience of seeing this bird is definitely the reason why I like it so much. So, you join us here on the train. We have just seen an American herring gull in the morning, and as a sort of spur of the moment thing, we decided, you know what, I think we're going to go and see the Mockingbird. It's the day after lockdown ended, the 3rd lockdown I believe. We're here on the train at about Totnes. Elliott's already looking tired. We then get off the train here at Exeter Station. We finally became true, full-blooded Exeter students, even though we go to the University of Exeter. We'd never been, but here we did indeed go to Exeter, because it was on the way to Exmouth, where the Northern Mockingbird was located. Yeah, zoom in on the Exeter St David sign there. Well done, Humphrey. Very clever. Here we can see some of the highlights. This is on the border, so we've just got out of Exeter. We're heading towards Exmouth now. We're on the bus, which is how we got there from Exeter St David Station. And as you can see here, we're getting close. So I'll give you back to Humphrey of the moment as he describes the Mockingbird to you.
Picture it because I can see over.
I feel nice as well.
There is the Mockingbird in the tree.
It looks so out of place, doesn't it?
Nice.
Upside down camera attack. I can't even find the screen anymore.
How come I can't get it with my... Come on, I can see it, phone.
Thanks past Humphrey and past Elliott for that, quite frankly, amazing experience. And really such a journey as well. They are the journeymen of birding, and you can ask anyone and they'll agree with me on that one. It's time. It's time for number 1. Let's have a look at what made first place in this year's Bird of the Year 2021. And this is going to upset some of you, but this does mean a bird has not made this list. And if I'm being honest with you, I don't care. Go cry about it. If they wanted me to consider it properly, they should have come up with an original name for it rather than just calling it what it is, but with a space in between half of the words. Okay? Alright? That's just my opinion. It's my list as well. It's my list. Alright? This is number 1, the Varied Thrush. Not only because it is arguably the coolest looking bird we've had in the UK this year, but also because of the story behind it. And the story behind this bird is absolutely amazing. To hear this guy who lives on the islands just wandering around on his day, it's the end of his day, he's going home, he's like, oh, I'll just have a little look in that field there, there's some redwing, there's some fieldfare in that field, and he has a look through his bins and he's like, Varied Thrush. And he goes inside and he asks the people in the house, oh yeah, have you seen that bird before? And they're like, yeah, it's been here a couple of weeks. Oh, oh, oh. What a story. I just love little stories like that. And then to see the picture, I'll put this picture up now of all of the birdies just sitting there watching it. The birdies that live on the island, Papa Westray. Yeah, it's just iconic. And also to think it's technically the only bird that Tom Scott might have seen this year. Oh, yeah, wow, because he went there. Oh, good joke. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's it from me. Hope you enjoyed it. There's been a lot of great birds this year, so I'm hoping for lots more good birds in 2022. So let's make it a big year, guys. Alright? Yeah, alright. Yeah, I'm leaving.